Hi Parker Panthers, it's Mrs. Warren with Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. We are up to chapter 2. I'm not going to waste any time since I'm reading 2 books, so I'm going to get straight up into it. One afternoon in May, I came home from school and found Dulce and Emma in the living room with my mom. My heart gave a little dance at the sight of my aunt's tall, skinny figure, her fashionably baggy linen overalls, the familiar mop of long, tawny curls, the rings on her fingers. Right down to her chunky sandals and crimson toenails, she looked like she was an artist. Allie! Dulce jumped to her feet and crossed the room to hug me. It's great to see you. You too. I hugged her tightly and breathed in the musky scent of her perfume. Holding me at arm's length, she gave me a quick once-over. Her silver bracelets jingled. Look at you, a teenager already. She turned to Mom with a smile. Gosh, they grow up so fast. She's only 13, Mother murmured. Don't rush things. Dulce frowned as if she might start arguing about how grown up I was. But before she could say anything, though, Emma flung herself at me. Allie, Allie, Allie! Whoa, I laughed. You're getting so big you'll knock me down. Look at your hair. It's almost as long as mine. Emma giggled and hugged me. That's 'cause I'm almost 5. Soon I'll be as big as you. Keeping an arm around my cousin's shoulders, I turned back to Dulce. Are you in town for a show or... I had to see the owner of a gallery in D.C. She wants to exhibit my work in a group show next fall, and I need peace and quiet to paint. So, Dulce glanced at my mother, who sighed and shook her head, obviously worried about something. Your mother thinks this is the worst idea I ever had, Dulce went on with a laugh. But I'm going to go fix up the old cottage at the lake and spend the summer there. I stared at her, hardly daring to believe she was serious. Sycamore Lake, that place that had obsessed me for 2 months now. Before I could bombard her with questions, Mom said, Dulce, I really think. No arguments. My mind's made up. Dulce smiled at Mom and turned to me. I need a babysitter to entertain Emma while I paint. I'm trying to talk your mom into letting me borrow you for the summer. Me? My face flushed. I'd love to babysit Emma at the lake. I've wanted to see it for ages. I found a... Allie, Mom interrupted. I told you what it's like there. Rain and mosquitoes and cold, gloomy days. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. You'll hate it. Don't believe a word of it, Dulce told me. What's the matter, Bella? Sorry, my dog's acting weird. Don't believe a word of it, Dulce told me. Sure, it's cold and rainy sometimes. It's Maine. What do you expect? But there's plenty of sunshine. The mosquitoes aren't worse than any place else. The lakes deep, dark, and dangerous. Mom cut in. Deep, dark, and dangerous. So that's where they got the words from. Mom cut in, choosing her words slowly and deliberately. People drown there every summer. Dulce frowned at Mom. Do you have to be so negative about everything? To keep Mom from starting a scene, I jumped into the conversation. I've taken swimming lessons since I was 6 years old. I know all about water safety. I'd never do anything stupid. Please, Aunt Claire, please, 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 Emma begged. I want Allie to be my babysitter. She hopped back and forth from one foot to another, staring hopefully at Mom. Say yes, I begged silently. Say yes. My best friend Stacy was going away, and a boring summer stretched ahead. I loved Emma, and I loved my aunt. A few months at the lake would be perfect. Ignoring my pleading look, Mom shook her head. I can't possibly make a decision until Pete comes home from work. Allie's his daughter too. We have to agree on what's best for her. Dulce dropped onto the sofa beside Mom. Sorry, I'm used to making my own decisions about Emma. Tossing her hair to the side, she grinned at me. It's one of the many advantages of being divorced. I didn't mean, Mom said. How about some coffee? Dulce asked, quickly diverting Mom. And some fruit juice for Emma. Of course. Mom got up and headed for the kitchen with Dulce behind her. I trailed after them, but at the doorway my aunt turned and smiled at me. "Why don't you read to Emma, sweetie? She's put some of her favorite books in my bag." Secrets, I thought. Things they don't want me to know about. I was tempted to follow them into the kitchen anyway, but it occurred to me that Dulce might have better luck talking to Mom without me being there listening to every word. Emma rummaged through her mother's big straw bag, and pulled out The Lonely Doll, a book I enjoyed when I was little. I like when Edith meets the bears and she isn't lonely anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be Emma, let me say that. I like when Edith meets the bears and she isn't lonely anymore. Emma climbed into my lap and rested her head against my shoulder. I like that part too. Emma opened the book to a photo of Edith looking sad and lonely. "Someday I'll have a friend," she said, "and then I won't be lonely anymore." "Silly," I said. "You must have friends. Everyone has friends." She shook her head. "Not in New York. Everybody I know there is grown up, and grown-ups can't be your friends." "Can I be your friend? Or am I too old?" Emma gave me a solemn, considering look. "It would be better if you were 5 or 6 or even 7, she said. "But I guess you can be sort of a friend." "Thank you, Princess Emma." I gave her a little tickle on the side. "I'm greatly honored by your Majesty's decision." She giggled. "Will you read now?" When we were about halfway through the story, we were distracted by rising voices in the kitchen. "We're adults now," Mom was saying. "I don't have to do everything you say. Allie's my daughter. I'll raise her the way I see fit." "It must be nice to own a child," Dulce replied. "Own a child? What's that supposed to mean?" "You're so overprotective, you might as well keep her on a leash. Sit, Allie. Heel, Allie. Roll over, Allie." "How can you say that?" Mom's voice rose. "I love Allie, and I want her to be safe. She's not going to spend the summer running wild, swimming, going out in boats." "Don't hold on so tight," Dulce interrupted. "Allie's growing up. She has to start making her own decisions. It might be good for her to get away from you. You always took everything away from me when I was little," Mom shouted. "And now you want my own daughter. Can't I have anything?" She started sobbing. "Oh, that's right," Dulce said. "Cry when you can't think of anything else to do." There was an edge of cruelty in her voice I'd never heard before. "Grow up, Claire. You're not a little kid anymore." Emma put her arms around my neck and pressed her face against my chest. "Make them stop, Allie." The voices in the kitchen dropped so low that I couldn't hear what Mom or Dulce were saying. "I think they stopped all by themselves, Emma." I patted her back, but my mind was racing. Dulce was right. Mom did overprotect me. Even Stacy thought so. She never let me do anything, not even spend a night at Stacy's house or go to the mall with my friends. I really did need to get away from her for a while. But at the same time, I was agreeing with Dulce. I was feeling bad because she upset Mom. I was confused as well. Why did Mom think Dulce wanted to take me away from her? What else had she taken? It was enough to give me a headache. Emma nudged me. "Read, Allie. I want to hear the part where Little Bear and Edith play dress up. And Edith writes, 'Mr. Bear is just a silly old thing,' on the mirror with lipstick, and Mr. Bear gets cross." She giggled. "And then Edith calls him a silly, and he spanks her. And she's scared Mr. Bear will take Little Bear and go away, and then she'll be lonely again." You know this story well. Edith is lonely like me, and she has blonde hair like me, and she lives in an apartment in New York like me, and she wishes so hard for a friend that Mr. Bear and Little Bear come to her house just to be her friends. And that's what I wish for too. A friend. Somebody who likes me best of all. I started reading again, and Emma pressed against me, mouthing the words silently as if she knew the story by heart. While I read, I kept one ear turned to the kitchen, but I couldn't hear what Mom and Dulce were saying. If Emma hadn't been sitting on my lap, I would have tiptoed to the door and listened. Okay, and that was the end of chapter 2, so next time we will start on chapter 3. I hope you guys are all doing well, And we'll see you again a little bit later. Bye-bye.